Point number 2, Mark chapter 14, verse 38. Watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing and the body is weak. This is Jesus talking to his friends in the Garden of Gethsemane. The word Gethsemane is really amazing. If you go to that garden, and I hope that all of you will get a chance to someday. If you want to go, let me know. I'll take you. And you can pay for it. I'll show you around. Garden of Gethsemane is full of olive trees, and the word Gethsemane is the ancient word for that press, that machine that you dump olives into, and when you press them, the juice and the oil flows from the olives. And here's Jesus being pressed into the service of his eternal promise, being reminded by God that soon his time will come to pay for everyone's sin on the cross, and he's about to be beaten and pierced and mocked and naked before mankind. And let me tell you, I don't think he wanted to do it. I think he was willing to do it. I don't think Jesus woke up that morning and said, I'm so excited. This is going to be great when they beat me senseless. He felt every lash. He felt every thorn. He felt every nail. He felt the spears that went in his side. No human being wants to feel those things, but he was willing. And he was in that garden of the press, and his life was being squeezed by the circumstances and by the will of God. He says, is there another way we can get the achievement done here? That we can get the goals that you have, Father in heaven? If we can get this thing done without me going through that, I'm up for a plan B. Then he said these incredible words. Not my will, but thine be done. The point for number 2 is to be sober. I've been with Christians my whole life who have a glass of wine, or have a glass of beer. I don't care. I mean, I'll be honest with you. If you're an adult, if you're 21, 18 in Germany, and you have a little, red wine with your dinner, I don't see a biblical quandary there. I'm not going to argue with you. If you think Jesus was at a wedding and they got excited because he turned water into grape juice, see you on Judgment Day. I think you're wrong. I think he turned it into oinos. The Greek word for oinos is different than grape juice. Grape juice, the Greek word is glucose. Glucose is like sugar. Oinos is fermented. So don't tell me it's a sin to have wine if Jesus served it at the Last Supper and said, hey, I'm not going to have any more of this until you see me again. The problem is not with wine. The problem is with a lack of self-control. And it's the same problem when someone like me goes to Hometown Buffet. You may get drunk on a 6-pack of Newcastle, and I get drunk on that 15th piece of fried chicken. It's the same thing. Some of you are drunk on power. I know some master chiefs in the Navy who think it's their job to bully people. I know these people. I know people who work for missions agencies who lord over the people that work for them. They're just drunk. Drunk is drunk. It's out of control. And everybody falls into the temptation to let something pull them down that incredibly dirty river every once in a while. And Jesus says, if you're going to be available for me, then I need you to be sober-minded. I need you to not eat to capacity. I need you to not drink too much. I need you to not lord over people. I need you to not take your authority too seriously. I was once told by a pastor the church would be better off if we took God more seriously and took ourselves less seriously. Be sober. And the only way to really be sober, in my opinion, is to get accountable. So maybe you've never had a sip of booze in your life and you're like, ha-ha! I've been sober since the day I was born. I doubt it. I bet if I followed you around for 3 days with a camera, I could show you 3 different times you got drunk on something. Maybe just your ego. I know people that are really pretty, and they never touch an alcoholic beverage. I'm too Christian for that. And then they can't pass a mirror without being like, man, I'm good. Look at this. Woo, look at that angle right there. That's drunk. Full of yourself. Preferring some other image other than the image of God. Too much power. I know dads who get drunk by bossing their wives around. It's an out of control thing. My stepdad used to beat us. He never had whiskey in the house. And when he got a belt or a rose bush switched in his hand, he beat us like a drunk man. Drunk, opposite of sober. And Jesus says, be sober, be alert, be accountable. Find people in your life who will call you on your junk. And ask them to. Proverbs says that flattery is useless. It's a waste of time. When someone flatters you, they're not doing you any good. But the blow